Hello, it's Nancy today. Our township, we live out in the country, our township tries to keep the roadways clean at the edges of the roads, and so they don't want any little trees growing up and being in that, like there's the road allowance, and so no trees are allowed to grow in there. So if they find any trees growing in there, they cut them down. Well, what a terrible waste of trees, right? So I went out there after it had rained, and first I went out and I dug them up. And that took all that dirt, and it was very difficult and very heavy, and I just couldn't do it, so I only did about 3 or 4. But there are so many of these little trees on the roadside that get killed every year by the township, who doesn't want them growing there and getting into the way. So look at this. Here's a little spruce, and you know how I got it? After it rained, I just pulled it up. Can you believe that? All the roots came. And you know why I did that? Because if you wanted to buy trees from the government and plant them, you can buy 1,000 trees or something and forest a place. They don't have anything on their roots. They're just straight like that. They're not big dirt or clod around everything. So if it works for them, why wouldn't it work for me? So we'll see. So I did this for 200 trees. Yes, I know. But most of them, well, I don't know what the odds are going to be. How many are going to live? How many are going to die? Some could die. Some could live. Anyway, they weren't hard to pull up, and they weren't hard to dig, or to plant, and they didn't cost a penny. These were just free trees, and they're pretty nice. Look. Okay, so here's a cedar. No, sorry. It's a spruce. See, a spruce has needles all the way around, and they're If you go like that with your hand and then smell it, they don't smell like Christmas. And this one looks like the snow was on him. Now see, this is flat. You see how they're flat on one side? Or are they? Let's see. No, that doesn't smell like Christmas. A balsam fir smells like Christmas. A spruce does not. And spruces have them all the way around. Oh, this is a balsam fir here. You see, the needles are only on 2 sides. They're not all the way around. And, as I'll show you, if you do that and smell it, it smells like Christmas. So a balsam fir smells like Christmas. So I have balsam firs, and I have spruces, and I have cedars. That one doesn't look so good, does it? It may die. Well, big deal. This is another cedar. Maybe it looks better on the other side. You just never know until the season comes along, and we'll see, does it live or does it die? Anyway, this is my perennial slope. And it's full of perennials, but I would really like to have a forest here. And so what I've done is I've planted spruce, balsam fir. Oh, and then there's lots of them over here too. So this whole place is dotted with them, and as you can see, they're way too close together. Right? Each of these, if it's going to be a beautiful big tree, I mean, take for instance that cedar there. One cedar will take that whole room. But it'll also take years and years. If you count every branch all the way down, every ring of branches, you'll know the age of the cedar. So that's probably 50 years old, maybe 30 years old, I don't know. But I don't intend to be around that long. Of course, you never know. So these are too close together. But then in a forest, they're too close together too, aren't they? So it really doesn't matter. Plus, a bunch of them can die. I did put spruces along here one year, and they lived for a few years and then they died. One of them's still alive. So you have to take that into consideration when you're planting these things. See, I have these over here. This is a cedar. There's another, I think that's a balsam fir. And this is another spruce. That one's kind of tall, he's 2 feet tall. Here's another one. This is spruce. This is one I planted a few years ago with my son. Now this is a balsam fir. Wow, does that ever smell like Christmas? That's a wonderful smell. Now you can see how old it is. Let's just check. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, it puts out a few of these. See, every year, what it'll do is this is last year's growth, this piece. And this was the year before. And, no, wait, I'm sorry. This is last year. And this to here is the year before. And see, these little ones will come out extra. But from here to here, from here to here is the year before. So you can count the layers of long branches. Had a couple layers down there, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if it grew, that's all it grew in year. 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 8 years old then. Which sounds about right. My son and I planted it. Okay, well this is how you do it. You just, if your township or your rural area doesn't want trees growing right along the road and they're going to kill them anyway, you could just go and pull them up. After it rains, they'll come up very easily. All the roots come up intact. It's perfect. It's really amazing. I mean, you'd never, if you went to a nursery and asked that, they'd say, oh no, you can't do that. You have to take a big ball with it. Well, it's not true. Anyway, it's Nancy today saying I did this. 200 trees. You see, our yard is pretty darn open. See, we've got all this open area here. And it's open over there. It's kind of a mess. I put up another hammock here. But we have a lot of open area behind everything and up on that hill. And so with 200 trees, maybe I'll be in the woods and maybe we'll have more birds. It'll take a long time to grow. Anyway, you can do this at home. You don't have to worry. Just try it. You'll like it. See ya.